All right, that does it for me for now. Wow. I'll see you again tomorrow. Now it's time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Lawrence is back just in time. Lawrence, we missed you so much.
Well, Rachel, it is so great to be back. And this result in Wisconsin is a huge, huge defeat for Elon Musk, who, as we saw, personally went full cheesehead, thinking, that's how to appeal to people in Wisconsin, and handing out those $1 million checks, literally trying to buy the election, physically doing the buying on TV. So this is just a huge setback for Elon Musk and therefore for Donald Trump.
When I first saw the news at the end of last week that Musk was going to not just put his money into this race, but that he was going to physically go to Wisconsin, do a campaign event, do this stunt where he pays voters and do this whole thing again, I thought, that is great news for the Democrats. Because there are few people in American public life who are as underwater in terms of the way the American public views them as Elon Musk is. But seeing the way that Mr. Musk behaved in Wisconsin, seeing the way that MAGA media portrayed this as something that was actually going to help that candidate there, I started to wonder, maybe I'm looking at the wrong polls. Maybe they're seeing something else that I'm not seeing. Maybe Elon Musk is going to help this guy. But this is to have this margin within less than an hour to have this call within less than an hour of polls closing with the kind of margin it looks like it's going to end up there in Wisconsin. This is just a kick in the proverbial teeth. To the White House and to Mr. Musk.
I had certainly been told not to expect a call before 11 p.m. And therefore, write as much TV show as you want because, you're not going to have the breaking news moment. And it turns out I didn't. You did. And that's important, too, how quickly this was called, which is to say how decisive this win has to be at this point.
That's exactly right. And this is going to, they just pulled Elise Stefanik's nomination to be UN ambassador because they were worried about their ability to hold on to her seat, which she just won by 24 points. The Republicans and Elon Musk are in a position right now where they have to worry about seats that have 24-point Republican margins. They have to worry about losing seats like this in a statewide race in a state they just won by what looks to be a decisive margin where you get the call within the hour. The American people are speaking in lots of different ways, but this is the first time they've really had the chance to speak at the ballot box, and it is with an exclamation point.
Well, as we saw Cory Booker in those remarkable 25 hours, one of the things that sustained him, that carried him through it, was something that we've never seen before in a filibuster like this, and that was direct communication from voters while it was happening. Emails, including in the middle of the night last night when I was watching. My favorite time to watch a filibuster is middle of the night, the lonely hours for the senator who's up there speaking. He received a series of emails from Wisconsin, and he was reading those emails from Wisconsin voters that were so powerful about their worries about Social Security, about their future. And I can't help but link those up to what we're seeing in actual expressed voter results tonight in Wisconsin.
Yeah. It also strikes me, Lawrence, that, when Trump was trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election, and he had those dozens and dozens and dozens of failed pseudo-legal efforts to try to get somebody to side with him in overthrowing the election results, the place that he got closest was the Wisconsin Supreme Court. When it was under conservative control before a few years ago, when the liberals sort of took control of that court, they got real close on the Wisconsin Supreme Court to essentially nullifying the vote in Wisconsin on the basis of Trump's fake fraud claims. The idea that we would have gone through that with the Wisconsin Supreme Court in 2020, and then they would have reinstated a new MAGA majority on that court, thanks to Elon Musk coming in with tens of millions of dollars and $1 million checks for voters, promising that this guy will be a vote for Trump, will be a vote for the MAGA agenda. The counterfactual here, the idea, what we'd be talking about right now, had this race gone the other way, I think would be a really sobering and difficult national story. And instead, what we've got is people saying, saying no to Trump and Musk in a very emphatic way.
We're going to get House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries' reaction to this election and to those Florida special elections for the House in this hour. And one of the things to look at in this, Rachel, is if you're a Republican member of the House of Representatives and you won your seat by less than 30 points.
Yes.
How much specific help do you want from Elon Musk, and do you want him to physically come to your congressional district and put on whatever silly hat he wants to put on and campaign for you? And I would say yesterday the answer was probably yes from every Republican in the House. What's the answer tomorrow?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we'll see what those margins end up being in Florida compared to when Waltz was running and when Gates was running in November. But yeah, if we're now talking about their margin of safety is like a 20-point margin, that's going to change everybody's jobs.
Yeah, and as we go forward here, when you think of today, I mean, today was already feeling like a turning point for me, and maybe it's my experience working in the Senate that makes me so Senate focused. But what I saw Cory Booker do in those 25 hours on the Senate floor is unlike anything I have ever seen there before. And it felt to me like, aha, here it is. Here's the Democratic voice. Here's what the opposition sounds like. That Cory Booker found that voice, delivered that voice, is that voice, and was that leader out there today. And every Democratic senator who supported him and helped him by asking questions so that he could rest his voice for a minute or two, every one of them was better on the Senate floor today because of the way Cory Booker rose to this occasion and brought them all up with him. And then you get these voter results tonight. And this date does feel like a turning point day in this year of American politics.
The other reason it feels like a turning point is because you're back. And you were gone for a really long time, and that in itself sucked. But you were also gone because you had some illness, and we were all worried. And the fact that you're fine and back also feels really, really good as any of those other things, and you're never allowed to go away ever again.
You know, this morning was my first morning not starting in a doctor's office in the last, 2 weeks or so. And I really got used to it. It really was okay. But I couldn't have asked for more energy delivered to this process today than Cory Booker did, and this election coverage we have tonight. And, and Rachel, I really appreciate you so much, and so much in the last couple of weeks, and your personal encouragement that you gave me.
Okay, stop now. Go talk to Hakeem Jeffries.
Thank you, Rachel.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.